Okay, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I will be doing a plan with me and my vertical Erin Condren planner. I will be using some goodies from the Prairie Planner. If you don't know already, I do PR for the Prairie Planner, so you can use code Ashley20 to get 20% off your order. Here is my current freebie right here, although I will be coming up with a new freebie in May. So I will be using this kit leftovers from Prairie Planner for the Sugar Bunny kit. I've already started to use some of the goodies, so I don't have a lot left here. But I absolutely fell in love with this artwork. Actually, both kits, she released, Stacy from the Prairie Planner released 2 Easter kits. Both were gorgeous, and I was having such a hard time deciding. Ultimately, I decided to go with this one though because I love the artwork. The other one, I picked up a journaling kit so that I could, because I love the patterns in that one, so I can still pick up the patterns. But I have this here. I also have some foiled goodies as well. So I picked up the Easter foil bundle from the Prairie Planner. So the foil bundle comes with these 3 sheets here in the Easter pattern. I got it in light gold, as well as I got 2 bougie boxes in the Easter foil collection in light gold, and then I picked up this Easter sampler, foil sampler in light gold. So I'm gonna get started on laying down the base and kind of talking you through my week and what's new with me, because I think I haven't been planning as much lately on my channel. I've had a lot going on these past few weeks, so it's made it hard to have the time to also film. And sometimes, like, I love planning, but sometimes it's nice just planning on paper by yourself instead of in front of a camera. So that way, I don't know, it's just like so peaceful, and you can just, it's also so much quicker as well when you're doing it on by yourself than on camera, so that it also saves a bit of time as well. And I have not thought about how I'm going to lay everything down. I think I'll do 2 full boxes on Saturday and Sunday. So this week we are actually done the semester, okay, I shouldn't say the semester. We are done with classes, I guess. So we're like a 12-week semester. So last week was our 12th week of the semester, but we still have 2 weeks for exams. So we're not like fully done, but pretty much done. I think I scroll instead. And so we are at a very scary point in the semester because, at least for me, I have a lot that I wanted to get done this semester that I still have not accomplished yet. And I don't know, it's just always a scary time. And like, so what's going on? Okay, well, really, as you can tell, my brain is pretty much mush. That is because we're at that point in the semester where everything is mush. So basically, like, this happens every year around March time. We're now in April, so March and April is you just like naturally burn out from the year. So I have had, like, my semester hasn't been bad. Like I said, if you've been watching before, I don't have any courses this semester. And so it hasn't been that bad, like horribly busy. Like I've been able to have like what I feel like is a good work-life balance this semester. Like, yeah, I still sometimes work evenings and weekends, but like overall I feel like it's good. But I'm still so burnt out, and I was hoping to avoid it. I think it's just like the natural progression of how like the semesters work, because like fall is usually a pretty busy semester, and then you get burned out right before Christmas time. And then although you do kind of get a break for Christmas, not fully, like it never feels restorative. Like I had the option to work through Christmas and I chose not to. I said no to things, so I didn't have to work on Christmas. I only took like a week off, like, just to be clear. But like even during Christmas, like that week off, I was busy seeing family and everything, so it never felt much like a break. And then you just like go straight into like another heavy semester in the winter, and like, oh, okay, so you know what, I think I figured it out. It's definitely the weather, 100% the weather. And then you go into a long winter in Canada, which, like, I know people joke about it like being horrible and wrong, and normal times of the year, I'm like, it's not that bad. But every time I come out of it, like now I'm like, no, it's not bad. Like, we're still getting snow and it's April. Um, it it sucks. And it's like so dark for so long you're without sun. And it just feels so miserable. And you have that like on top of all the work for the year. And then summer though is nice because you do get a bit of rest. You can go much slower in the summer, which is great. So that helps restore you. But until this point, like, it is very easy to burnt out, and I have to say I am very burnt out, no matter how much I wanted to avoid it. Part of it is, I'm reflecting now, is like one of my goals this year was to manage burnout. And now that I think back to it, is it even something I can fully manage? Like, is it on me that I haven't been able to avoid burnout, or is that just the reality of months-long winters and grad school life that you can't really avoid burnout? And so I'm feeling exhausted. The last 2 weeks, I haven't planned is just like I have been planning, just not posting on YouTube, but I haven't been like fully into it. I've just been feeling really overwhelmed and not motivated and just an overall like blah mood. So it hasn't been great, but this week am starting to feel a bit better. So like looking back on even this week, like I got more done than I thought I did. That's usually like a common theme in these videos, which is why I like doing them, is I get to reflect back and see what I accomplished. I know a lot of people, because essentially what I'm doing is back planning. So how I plan is I have like a different planner that's like my functional planner, where I plan like everything I need to do, because like sometimes it's just like the reality of being a grad student is like you suddenly have these like really small things you need to write down to remember to do. And so I need that to function. But I like having this decorative and creative aspect where I can back plan too, because I can see it as like, this is my to-done list. And I know that's something a lot of people have been like recommending, and I've been seeing it lately, is to have a to-done list. So when you look at it, you don't see everything you didn't do, you see everything you've done. And that's what these videos are for me, is really, I get to look back and reflect on this week and realize, hey, like I still accomplished a lot, and yes, it might not have been as much as I wanted to, and yes, I'm still behind. That is just the grad student life though, and I look at all the stuff I did otherwise, which is amazing. And so this week I felt like I was still in a funk. Still not great. Honestly, even this week I'm still in a funk, but I'm way better. But this week was what I was starting to kind of get back into my routine. And so I found it easier to sit at my desk, go in the office, do work, so I wasn't doing work from bed. And so I was just starting to feel more like myself and being able to get into things, which is good. I still, as I said, wasn't perfect. Like obviously there's still more I would have wanted to do these days, but I feel like looking back now, I got a lot more done. And this week was also really interesting, just because everything was also a hot mess. So like I started Monday being like very hopeful. Like I remember Monday morning I was like, it's a new week, I'm gonna start over, it's okay if I didn't get as much done as I wanted to the last 2 weeks, like it's a new week for me. And then like Monday morning and like afternoon, it was just like crisis after crisis with like different jobs I'm working. Like all of them, like all had a crisis. Like I worked 3 jobs and they all had a crisis, which was so weird. I mean, it's like that part of the semester too, but it was a lot. And so actually Monday, surprisingly, I like did not take it too hard. Like I was expecting that would have like made me lose it. That like that would have been my breaking point, but somehow I like managed to power through all the conflicts and crises and manage them fine. I mean, it was stressful, but it was fine. And so it's very weird. I've seen like jokes before that like if you have like anxiety, you get like anxious over the smallest unreasonable thing, but once you're actually in a crisis, you know exactly what to do and how to do it because you've prepared mentally for this crisis already. And so when you're actually in crisis, you're fantastic at dealing with them. It's just the times before that suddenly everything seems horrible. But once you're into it, you're fine. And so Monday is actually okay. Friday was more crisisy, so and by that point I was done. I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah, by Friday, I don't know. I think like I get a bit emotional when I'm tired too, and it was like the end of the week, and so I think just like all the exhaustion came to fruition and all the stress I've been put through that week just kind of overloaded my glass, and suddenly I just couldn't handle it anymore. And so I remember Friday was a pretty rough day. I had a lot of breakdowns because of it. It was just more work stuff and yeah, nothing big. It's just it was just, I think, I don't want to say unexpected because like I was having a lot of anxiety that would happen, but I think it was, as I said, I'm just tired and over it, and so I was annoyed it happened. I was in all my feelings on Friday. I forgot, so I was actually going to use this for another kit, but then the other kit I ended up pulling in like a million full boxes, so I didn't have enough of the overlays to use, so I decided to just save it for this one since I have the second Easter kit. But I didn't order the bottom washi, which is fine. I'm just doing this. I feel like I should like order a bunch of like washi strips just for like when I need them, like grab a grab bag or something, and then I can pull them into spreads when I need them. Because so many times this has happened where I suddenly change around what I want to use the foil for and forget that I need a bottom thing. Well, I don't tend to buy foil bundles until I know for sure that I'm going to I already have the kit and know when I plan to use it. And so often I'm buying foil bundles way later. Not always, but sometimes. So yeah, this week I'm feeling not great, but feeling hopeful that things will happen, I think. And so I was talking with my supervisor about this. He says if you've ever seen the Princess Bride movie, I'm in what's called the pit of despair. And so essentially I'm at the worst part of the research process with my QE right now. So I've done my initial research, had my idea, wrote up the proposal, submitted my proposal to the committee, gotten feedback, which was hard, and then I had now I'm at the stage where basically it's like, okay, I have this feedback of what doesn't work in my model. Now I have to figure out how to fix it. And that's the part that I'm struggling with. And so now I'm like going back to the literature, looking at things, trying to figure it out, and it's a stressful part because I know what's wrong and I have potential ways to fix it, but I don't have the right answers. And like part of the qualifying exam is you're on your own. So like I can't, it's not like I can like talk with my like committee members and they can give me the answers. They can just tell me what's wrong. And so it's a lot. But so this part I'm at is the sucky part. But I know once I figure it out, once everything is together, that's going to be the good part. Then I get to submit it. Hopefully I'll be on the right track, and then I can do my paper and submit that and just be done with the whole QE process. But it's just like in this really sucky part right now, and I really just have to get through it, unfortunately. Which really sucks. When you know like you're in the worst and you know you just have to get through it, but you still have to do it. Some of the pink, it's okay. And that on top of just being burnt out, as I was talking about, is just leading to like a very frustrating time for me. But as I said, I am hopeful that I will soon be out of the pain that is the Huey. Oh, I cannot wait for that period to be done. And then I get to just move on. I mean, then it's going to be like the dissertation, so not really moving on. The dissertation is going to be worse than the QE. I don't know if it's going to be worse. I think it's going to be worse in some ways, but overall be better, because you're allowed to at least collaborate on your dissertation. You're not completely like on your own. Now I'm just adding some foiled goodies to the top. I've been really loving adding like deco bits to the top of spreads. And so I like when they come with kits. But I thought the foiled goodies would be some cute goodies I can add. I think what also kind of sucked was, well, actually I think it was a bit of a refresh. It was good, but hard is it was Easter weekend the weekend before. So the Monday is actually a holiday. It wasn't like an official holiday. Like we didn't get the day off, but you could theoretically take it off if you want to. I did not end up taking it off, unfortunately, and I kind of wish I could have. But as I said, Monday was a garbage fire of a day, and so even if I planned to take it off, I feel like I would have had to jump back onto things. But anyways, the weekend I was able to kind of spend it with my family, and that was so nice to like be able to have that like full time away from school and not thinking about school all the time, and like get to see my family. As a grad student, I tend to like really neglect seeing them, unfortunately. Like it just like sometimes you become like so encompassed in what you're doing that it's like so hard to like get out of it. And I think especially with like grad school, like it's so nice sometimes like having the weekend as like 2 extra work days. Like I can get so much extra work done in those days that like I couldn't elsewise. And so it's hard to take days off, but ultimately I think it was a really good thing that I did take them off and got to see family. I think that's part of why I'm also feeling better. And I guess I can talk maybe a bit about my summer plans since the semester is wrapping up. So the summer semester as a grad student, like a lot of people kind of assume that it's like an undergrad where you get it off, but unfortunately that is not the case. It's definitely slower. Usually you don't have courses, but it depends. So for me, what this usually looks like is usually it's like you dedicate the summer to catching up on your research because like all year you were doing courses, you were teaching, and now you got to dedicate it to getting caught up. But obviously because I'm a student and I am poor as hell because grad school is expensive, you do get funding, but not a lot. And like usually the funding's through TA-ship, so is it really funding or is it a job? But anyways, for the summer, like essentially, so like you're catching up on your research. So I know for me this will look like finishing up my QE. We're gonna try to publish my manuscript from my master's as well as getting started on my dissertation. So a lot of research that I'm gonna be having going on. Plus, I'm working, so I'm working my research job still, which I'm very grateful. It continues over the summer. Some research jobs don't. I will also hopefully be having a TA-ship. So that was part of like why I was up on setup on Friday was I was supposed to have a guaranteed TA-ship over the summer and didn't get one, and so that was a bit stressful because now I'm like rushing to find something, which is annoying. So yeah, part of it will then hopefully be teaching, so probably grading, honestly, and then yeah, research, grading, and work. So it's kind of nice because usually you're not in classes. Like I think we had a class my first year of my master's, but other than that, we haven't had any, which has been nice. So you get to go slower. And I think with like the sun out, things just feel hopeful. Like it's so nice. Like now I can go to like a cafe and sit on a patio and like do some work compared to like being inside all winter. And so the summer I'm hopeful for, and if you keep watching, you'll be able to see how my plans unfold through the summer. But now we'll jump to the day by day, because now I'm ready to plan the day by day. So Monday, as I said, was like a dumpster fire day. I had a lot to do. So I think especially the Friday before was a holiday. So essentially all the Friday's things and all of Monday's things were then put together on one day. And so it felt like a lot. So first of all, I had to teach. Normally I teach on Fridays, but because of the holidays, moved to Monday. I also had a meeting this day, and then I also had office hours where I had to meet with a student. I also designed some training for my workplace, and then I did some grading and the cancel today stickers just to represent what a like frustrating day it was dealing with everything. But ultimately, as I said, I felt like overall I like pretty much like kept my cool, and it wasn't too bad. It was just it was probably like a healthy level of stress. Tuesday, I had writing groups. So if you watched before, I've joined a couple writing groups just to help keep me accountable to working on my work, especially my QE this semester. So I had that. I worked on my qualifying exam. I did some grading that day, and lastly, I had a meeting with my boss. So I'm a project manager, so that's why I used that PM sticker to mark the meeting. This week you'll notice, and even the next week, is all grading, all the, like, because now we're in the final wrap up of the semester, like it's all the papers. So both of my TA courses had grading this week and then the following week. So it was a lot of grading. Wednesday, I had a work session with a friend. So my friend and I just hopped up on a call and decided to work together. This is yellow. It almost looked red. I decided to hop together on a call and do some work together. I did some grading and QE work, and the sticker from the Prairie Planner accurately represents how I was feeling. I felt so bad. I had like a breakdown on the call about my QE with my friend. I'm so glad she was able to support me, but yeah, it was a very stressful day. Then on Thursday, I had support circle. So I like facilitate a support group for graduate students where I get to like meet every week to kind of just like discuss grad school struggles and like talk about like how we can like strategies for like how we can like tackle those struggles and like just provide support. Then I had a meeting with my supervisor. That day I was like pretty over it, and after that point I like quit after 2 meetings, and I guess I did no other work for the day, which isn't great. Friday, as I said, I kind of lost my shit today, which I have the sticker to kind of represent it. Then I had to like rush to fill out some applications for TA-ship, since the ones I applied, like, yeah, I was guaranteed some, and then it's like part of your funding, you're guaranteed it, and then they like made a mistake and couldn't fix it at that point. So I'm getting them in the fall, but that means I have to double up in the fall and teach more than what I would get over the summer. And so that just stresses me out, because now I'm working double the hours for like a mistake that like shouldn't have really happened. And then I had to rush to try to get, because like now I need money to pay for the summer still, so I had to rush to get jobs in. So I was working on applications that day. I also did some grading, and then I had a TA meeting. This weekend I had a productive weekend. Now it's the point of the semester where gonna have to start working weekends. It's also the point though, like my partner is an accountant, so it's tax season, so he's also working weekends, so I find it easier for me to at least work weekends. So I did grading both days this weekend, as well as edited some of my applications. And so this is my finished spread here. I'm probably gonna go in and add some, like, I like to add in after the week's done what I like was feeling that week, so I get a general sense of like the thoughts and feelings that were happening, to kind of like go beyond the page of what I've actually done. I'm really loving how it turned out. Like, I love the foil at the top. Like, I feel like it's not overwhelming, but like it's a nice bit of sparkle. Especially with like the bottom washi, because like the washi's just kind of coming through the colors, so it's not feeling very overwhelming, but I don't know, I'm just loving how it looks. And so this is my finished spread in whole. If you're wanting to see more, you can go check out my other video, which will be posted in the upcoming days, where I use the rest of the kit to plan my print impression spreads, which is everything outside of academia. If you like this video, you can give it a like. You can also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next video.